We're back. That's right. We're back for the 2025 season. It's Cowboys Crosstalk presented by SWBC. I'm Chris Arnold from 105.3 The Fan, and, of course, we got the three-time Super Bowl champion, Nate Newton. Our special guest this week is former Cowboys legend Timmy Newsome.
All right.
And also from 105.3 The Fan, we got talk show host Jake Riekma. Fellas, you guys doing all right on a Wednesday evening?
I'm doing great.
Doing great.
CA, good and getting better, man.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. It's right around the corner, less than 24 hours away. We're talking about the season kickoff. The Kickoff Classic, the Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, it's here. We've been waiting all summer. We've been waiting all offseason. We've been teasing and teasing and teasing. We're past the preseason. It's time to do this thing for real. But before we even get to the game itself, we got a new head coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes,
Brian Schottenheimer. Everybody calls him Shotty. You guys had a chance to visit with him a little bit, and I want to know what you think about the way he's trying to change the system from within. I'm talking about the culture with the players and the fact that he's got a tough road to hoe being a head coach for the first time in his 35-year NFL career.
I want to go to Timmy first. I'm going to defer to Timmy just what he thinks about it because we had a few legend deals. So
yes.
So I want
Shotty invited all the legends back to the Star.
Yes. So.
Yeah, he invited us back. I went twice. He has a ton of energy. He welcomed us with open arms. He literally sat there and figured out who we were by name and invited us into the meeting rooms during the mini camp and invited us on the football field afterwards and then invited us back a couple weeks ago. So he's very excited, very energetic, and I'm hoping that he makes it well.
So, Nate, what were your impressions of Shotty when you first got a chance? I mean, you've been around him. He's been an offensive coordinator for a little bit.
I kind of ignored him when he was offensive coordinator. He did a few shows for the recent coach that passed, and I'm kind of just looking at him trying to figure it out. I knew he played quarterback. I knew he coached. I knew he was a consultant.
Marty Schottenheimer's son.
And then when they called, I didn't know he was Coach Schottenheimer's kid. And then when Mr. Jones hired him, all of a sudden, and then they went to talk about all this osmosis and all this. Right? I'm like, what in the world? Who is this guy? Osmosis Jones or who? But now then they popped up with this guy.
Yeah.
And like you said, Timmy, he is energetic. He is trying to bring a culture here like I haven't seen in a long time. An upbeat culture. He know what type players he want. He know what type attitudes he desire. And I was telling Timmy, we cannot let this year here. This is going to be a rough year for him,
right?
Because he's still trying to put players in place, trying to get players to believe in what he's trying to do. Brought in Eberflus. He intentionally went out and got college guys because he want the tempos of practice up.
Yes.
He want people to be physical. And it's going to take him a minute. This not going to be a 1 year or 2 year fix. We talking about 3 years this guy going to need to be here. So I thought I was in love with McCarthy, but come to find out,
Shotty,
this dude is different.
He's different.
This dude is different. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm respecting what the last coach brought, but this guy needs the opportunity, and you may not see it this first game. You may not see it the second or third game, but eventually you're going to start seeing what this dude trying to put on. He is sincere. I remember when we opened up in training camp, but this is probably the most you ever seen me talking in one of these crosstalk. We opened up in training camp. Everybody want to crack jokes. Everybody want to have something to say to Mr. Jones. You want to have something to say. But every time they went to Coach Schottenheimer, he was talking football. The next day he talking football. The Rams came in and beat us up. And he talking football. It was never not about football, competing, trying to get better. I like this dude.
In fact, everybody likes Brian Schottenheimer, the late, great Marty Schottenheimer's son. I say this because the current players absolutely love him. Front office loves him. The media loves him. They're the first ones going to poke some holes into things.
Chris, the lack of wins, because this is going to happen. Will you love him then?
That's where I was going. We on the same page.
I'm trying to let my man get something.
That's why I was going with him on it.
It's safety.
I was going to say, Jake.
This ain't Jake Ferguson. This is the other Jake.
That's right. The other
Jake Riekma.
Jake Riekma, my question is.
Well, my question to you is.
My question to you.
Everybody can be loving this guy. But if they lose 3 games in a row, are they going to turn?
No, I think Nate nailed it. I mean, you got to give it time. It's not going to happen overnight, but I think there's a receptive component to it in which you're ready to embrace that next chapter, and that's where I was going to go with it. My question is, from going to as a coordinator internally, you mentioned it, it's an internal hire, to take that next step where you're all of a sudden now, you are the boss, you're the CEO, you're the face of the organization. How big of a jump is that? And it's kind of hard to quantify.
Well, he's got the balance between being an administrator and an offensive coordinator and the head coach. And so that's going to be a challenge for him, not having done any of those things recently, not being a head coach at all.
Right.
And so that's going to be his challenge. That's a lot of learning curves. But hopefully his pedigree and his history will catapult him into the arena of being able to do it the right way as fast as possible.
This is also going to be interesting because, again, he's never been a head coach, but he's at least been in the NFL for 35 years and as a coordinator for 8 years. With that being said, he's called plays before. He's going to be calling plays offensively against the Eagles tomorrow night. Eberflus going to be calling defensive. The question is, all those little things like clock management and all the little things, the tempo and taking care of the defense when they're gassed, those are the things that people are going to wonder if he can handle or not, and especially in a high-stakes game on the first game of the season. Nate, your thoughts?
I'll tell you like this. Let the kid grow.
Let him grow.
For a lot of years, Jason Garrett, the clock management, the great McCarthy, Super Bowl, clock management is a tricky thing.
It is.
Because you got between analytics and what you feel in your heart and what you actually see your team doing, you got to make a split decision.
You got to count on some people, too.
Yeah, and so let this kid grow. I mean, let him grow. Let him understand that this game of it, people say, well, what do you think about Eagles first? Why couldn't they get Carolina? Why couldn't they get it? When the game starts, it's going to be fast and furious. I don't care who you got. Especially for you got 30 new players, a new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. Come on, new position coaches. We got one dude running around there with a top hat, hair look like Abraham Lincoln, bro. But he black.
Right.
I thought, come on, man. This thing is new and moving, baby.
Yeah, so everybody should pump their brakes and let it evolve, right?
Yeah. What I was going to say is that should be the freedom to let it fly. It's opening week. It's the first game. You got an opportunity to make your mark. Throw caution to the wind, right?
But he can't. He can't. Because
it's the
who
Cowboys.
You're playing.
And it's the Eagles.
You throw caution to the wind if you
Right.
Yeah, you better not be down 30-0 in the first quarter. Be like, oh, my God, Jake say throw it to the wind.
Right. No, I meant embracing the moment.
Okay, I'm with you.
Still with the strategic component to it.
Come
on, Nate. Come on.
But here's the important thing. He has an advantage because he's never been a head coach. There's no way for them to scout to see what he's capable of doing.
You know
so
what?
for that's going to be a really good key for him.
Let's follow up on that because I was thinking the same thoughts about how we really don't know what he's going to do based on preseason because he was not showing you anything on purpose.
No.
He said he's going vanilla on purpose. So we didn't even really see the starters because nobody who was expected to start in this game tomorrow, then none of them play a preseason game except for a couple of guys.
Booker saw the left
the
tackle,
young guys.
Nathan. We don't know what Nathan going to do.
But the main guys.
Yeah, the
we
main guy.
We
didn't see the horses. Yeah.
So do you like that strategy, Jake?
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, the book's not out on him. I mean, it's kind of, we were talking a little baseball before this. It's like a starting pitcher that hasn't pitched yet. You don't know where he's going to go with it. So I think that's why there's a fine line between being patient, being balanced, and still embracing the moment and really owning the first opportunity to show what it's like to be the head coach.
Timmy, what you think?
Well, it's Thursday night football, and it's the beginning of the NFL season. I think they're going to be very keyed up, ready to go out there and just bang it and see what happens. And I think he's going to be really aggressive because he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Right, that was my big point.
My thing is this. I need it for my offensive line. I wanted them to play together because – we cannot, out of every position, we cannot lose the quarterback this year.
No,
that is the position where we're gonna have to keep him upright. We're gonna have to keep him healthy. So I wanted our offensive line to gel, to at least get a quarter per game just for them to feel one another because Coach said we was going to run. We didn't run a lot, but I believe he's going to stick to his word because somehow, somewhere, we got to find a way to run on Philadelphia.
It's so funny you mentioned the offensive line because we find out that Tyler Guyton has made all of the practices. They flew off to Philadelphia today. He's expected to play. So Tyler Guyton's going to play. Also on the defensive side of the ball, Trayvon Diggs is going to play.
Yep.
And he's coming back. We don't know how many, if he's going to be on a snap count, but those two guys themselves can impact this game in a positive way.
Well, I think that's good. That's going to be the key. I mean, they're coming off injuries, and so hopefully when they start the season and when they go out there and start playing, that they're not going to be hesitant
right
as they move through the game.
My issue here is I need, if Tyler Guyton going to start, I need for you to finish. Snap counts and snap counts and all that stuff and counting up the snaps for the player.
Yeah.
That's for skill position players.
Okay.
That's not for offensive linemen. If you're going to start, finish the game, son.
But I think they're going to put them on a pitch count.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Snap count, pitch count.
What is a middle reliever now? What is he now? Is he going to get 6 days rest? Come on, man.
Bottom line is you may not see as much as him as you want, but at the same time, he will be affecting the game if he's out there. With that being said, this is a showdown in the NFC East. When we come back, we got to talk about the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles, and can they possibly even repeat when nobody has done it before? In fact, nobody's done it since the Eagles did it in 2004. It's one of the craziest stats in NFL history. In 20-something years, nobody has won the East back-to-back since 2004. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about those teams from Washington and New York as well. That's next on Cowboys Crosstalk, presented by SWBC.
party. Back to SWBC Mortgage's Dallas Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
And we are back having a great time. I'm Chris Arnold, along with the 3-time Super Bowl champion Nate Newton, our special guest, legendary running back for the Cowboys, Timmy Newsome. And from 105.3 The Fan, Jake Riekma. Gentlemen, we're going to talk about the NFC East and how tough that's going to be to get through. But at the same time, we're going to also get to know Timmy a little bit more. Again, Timmy and Nate and I go way back, way back. And Timmy, again, you have kept up with the Cowboys all these years. You attend most of the functions. I mean, you're a Cowboy for life, right?
Oh, yes, definitely.
And with that being said, everybody remembers. I want you to tell us one story. The story is that 99-yard run Tony Dorsett had. Something happened on the field just before the play. The ball was snapped. Can you tell us your role in all of that?
Well, according to Dorsett, it wasn't me. It was Ron Springs that fumbled.
Oh, okay.
But in reality, it was me. For some reason, I was back deep. And that ball came to me, and I could read the Pete Rozelle on it.
Right.
That's how stationary that ball was.
Right.
And so I made the conscious decision to try to catch it and run up the field. Well, just before I tried to do that, it dipped on me, hit my fingertips, and it just literally just goes out of bounds on the 1-inch line.
Yeah.
So Dorsett actually ran 99 and a 3/8 yards.
Of an inch, yeah.
I mean, it was as close as you get without being in the end zone.
You were just padding his stats.
That's exactly right. The very next play, Ron Springs was supposed to run the football, but they called Jayhawk, and Ron Springs goes off the field.
Right.
Thinking that it was Dorsett's ball to run.
The Hawk part.
That's right. So Dorsett runs the ball, but here's the funny part. We only had 10 men on the field.
Yeah, they were short a man.
Yeah, we were short a man.
And he still did it.
Yes.
And that record, it'll never be broken. It was tied a couple of years ago by guess who, Jake? I don't know if you who know who did this. There's one current running back in the NFL. He's a superstar who tied that record with a 99-yard run.
I want to say it was Derrick Henry.
Ding, 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 ding. It was Derrick Henry.
It's hard to miss how big that guy is.
And Tony's completely different kind of back. He's small. He's elusive. He got that extra gear. So power tied it, and the elusiveness set it.
That's right. I remember it to this day. It's 31 wedge was the name of the play.
Is that right?
31 wedge.
Okay, so when you were playing, you weren't as big as Derrick Henry, but you were a big running back.
I was big. I was right
for
around
those guys.
240. Yeah, I was around 240.
See?
And so they wanted me to play fullback. I did that, and sometimes I'd back up Tony Dorsett. But it was a lot of fun being that versatile, and that's the reason I was back deep, because they felt like I could do it. And so that's the reason that I've had a wonderful career playing a lot of different positions.
People always want to know what you're doing right now these days, because they see you all over the place. 'Cause every time there's a Cowboys function, Timmy's there.
Yes,
he's representing well for all these years.
Yeah. Well, I've been in the technology business since I came to Dallas in 1980. I started out as a computer programmer. Then it morphed into a systems integrator, and then we do some cybersecurity work and things of that nature, and we still back to software development. So I do a variety of things, and I just love it all.
We got to say something real quick, because a couple of days ago we lost a Cowboy legend, Leroy Jordan. I know both of y'all have had a chance to visit with him over these years when he come back for functions or whatnot. But I can't remember if you ever played with him.
I did not play with Leroy, but I met him several times. In fact, I met him back in May at a function at Bob Bruning's house.
Right.
So I had a chance to visit with him then.
Well, our thoughts and prayers, of course, with his family and friends.
Yes.
But at the same time, he's legendary for a lot of different reasons. And again, he left a mark, a great linebacker. He's in the Ring of Honor. But a lot of people may not realize this, and I know both of y'all know this. When he played in the Super Bowl, he became the only person to
win the Super Bowl as losing team.
Name MVP.
MVP, yeah.
For a losing
for
team.
a losing team.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has never happened ever before or since.
Yeah.
That's how well he played in that game.
That's right.
I'm going to tell you something, boy. That right there, that hurt me.
Yeah.
I mean, I still want to say we won the Super Bowl, because I just can't take the Cowboy lose it. Not going to the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so talking about going to the Super Bowl, and we're talking about go kind of slow with Shotty. All right, so something happened last week. It was last Thursday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Micah Parsons was traded to Green Bay. They got Kenny Clark. He's a defensive lineman. He can help stop the run. Does this slow them down at all from their game plan? We know Micah Parsons is the most talented player that was on the roster this year. He was talented, but he wasn't playing at all in the OTAs or in the training camp or on the preseason. How does it affect that locker room, Nate, and then of course Timmy, and then Jake? You give us your thoughts too.
You don't never want to lose what most people think is a generational player. I always thought he was an excellent pass rusher.
Yes.
I've always thought he had a little bit more to give in other areas, but he was an excellent pass rusher.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to lose that. He had a few friends in the locker room that probably feel bad, but I promise you, come tomorrow night, they won't be thinking twice.
Yeah.
They'll be trying to figure it out. And I'm telling you, Saquon Barkley, he don't care whether he was there or not.
He might as well be injured.
Yeah, the right tackle who we normally go against ain't never really cared whether he was there or not.
Mm-hmm.
So because he's always handled his business. As great as Mike is, Philadelphia ain't never feared Mike. So.
Right. Timmy?
Well, personally, I think they're going to go with the rotation of guys.
Yeah, they got some depth at that edge.
They've got some depth at that edge, and so they're going to go with a really nice rotation. They've got 8 defensive tackles and ends, and they've got another 3 guys that are backups. So they're gonna have that rotation, and I think they're gonna do just fine.
Jake, how bad will they miss Micah Parsons?
Well, obviously you're going to miss an all-world talent, an all-pro talent, but the second that trade became finalized, what I thought of immediately was closure. Okay, we've got a situation that went from one of the most uncertain, where each and every day there was something new, there was a development.
The twists and the turns.
Right. And it kind of was so contradictory of what Shadi is preaching in the sense of stability and a culture. And I thought it just accelerated what Shadi was bringing to the table in his first year of stability, culture. Here's how it played out. You have the closure. Micah's on to, and Dak said, hey, this could be mutually beneficial for both parties, and now we move on. And you turn the page, you move on, and now what we're talking about is football. We're not talking about rumors. We're not talking about if that, then this. It's all about stability and Shadi's team moving forward, and there's nothing left to question. So I think it's beneficial.
So is the Texas Rangers playing? Because if we'd have kept the kid, he'd have been on a pitch count. Who we promoting here? The Dallas Cowboys?
Right.
We got a DB on the pitch count. We got a left tackle on the pitch count. Come on, man.
Well, definitely got the Cowboys tomorrow.
Tell me how many you can give us, man. Late reliever, high closer.
Stay loose in the bullpen. Stay loose.
You got Jake over here, man.
You know what? We've said all this stuff, and the guy you glad you're not worrying about a pitch count is the quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Thank you.
He's back. No one has said anything about his health. Right. You've seen him in training camp. He looks great. He lost weight. He's toned up. Not that he was chunky at all, but it's like, wait a minute. He done slimmed up a little bit. That's how seriously he's been taking this thing. With that being said, he's going up against the Eagles. The Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions. They're getting their rings tomorrow night. Everybody's talking about this. Let's talk about the Cowboys in the NFC East through the eyes of Dak Prescott, because I'm going to give y'all some numbers that the Cowboy fans may or may not know. Versus the East, Dak Prescott's record is 33-8. He owns the East. Against Philadelphia, guess what his record is, Jake?
I know it's really good.
9-4. Against, how about Jalen Hurts? They've only met or played against each other 4 times.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, 3 times. He's 2-1. He's only lost 1 time against Jalen Hurts. The tush push only got him 1 time. So with those things in mind, you would think that locker room has a lot of belief that they can handle up tomorrow night.
Yeah, they do. And Dak missed a lot, but during training camp, man, what amazed me is at least 7 or 8 times during a practice, he would just take off sprinting hard as he could.
Really?
And I guess he was getting in his own mind and showing everybody else, my ham is in place.
Yeah, there you go.
And so he would practice, he would run, and before practice they'll do all these agilities and so Dak be doing all of this wide open. So I'm like, he's trying to let himself know as well as everybody else, his hamstring is all right. You know, all we need is for my left tackle to understand that we don't need for you to loosen it up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You know, we're going to take
Yeah.
a deeper dive into this game in the next segment about
Right.
who we think's going to win, X factors and those things. But as far as the East is concerned, I mentioned this the first segment or the second segment. Nobody's won back-to-back since 2004 when McNabb was quarterback in the Eagles. The Eagles are coming off of a Super Bowl. They've been very, very good, very talented for the last couple of years. Is there any chance Washington with Dan Quinn, they both teams made it to the NFC Championship last year. That's how surprisingly good Washington was. You got the Giants. They're trying to retool a little bit. They got Russell Wilson guiding that team for a little bit. And then you got the Cowboys. And Dak's back. Timmy, can somebody knock out the Eagles? Or will the Eagles be the first team in 20-something years to repeat?
They are capable of doing it, but the question is, will they be complacent to the point where they don't have that edge like they did last year?
Are you saying Super Bowl hangover?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Nate, you've lived it.
Yeah,
So,
man.
Jake, what do you think?
I like what Timmy said because I think there's something to be said. I'm going to go all the way back to a point we made about the book being out there. Jaden Daniels was the new, shiny rookie
Man.
object. And no, I'm not taking anything away from him. My goodness, was he impressive. They went on a run in the playoffs. I give them all the credit. However, year number 2, the tape is out there.
Yep.
You had a whole year to schematically plan for that.
Tougher schedule, too.
No doubt, no doubt. You're not going to sneak up on anybody, and all of a sudden you go from being the hunting, now you're the hunted. I'm curious to see how he responds to that in year number 2. And people call it a sophomore slump for a reason.
That's right.
So, Nate, do the Cowboys have a chance?
I believe this right here.
Okay.
Besides their secondary, and I'm talking about the Eagles, they have the most depth in the NFC.
They really do.
They can sustain some injuries and continue to play. And Vic Fangio, is that his name?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Vic Fangio.
Fangio.
That man is something else.
He really is. He's
Especially
a
when it
great
comes
coordinator.
to playing the Cowboys.
He came up with a
Check his-
blueprint.
See, stop. They ain't no blueprint.
Well, he's the
We
one that
don't know
said it.
shot. We don't know Mr. Osmo.
Okay, oh, yeah, got it.
There's no tape out there
The
yet.
previous blueprint a couple of years ago is Fangio that said it when he was with Denver.
Yeah. So
We're going to
the
find
Eagles
out.
are built to last, man.
So,
Like,
so whoever
back in the
knocks them
day-
off, yeah.
Back in the day, we said the Eagles built to last. They built to kick a little.
Well, speaking of that, we're going to find out if they can beat the Cowboys tomorrow. We're going to give you our predictions. We're also going to get into who's going to be the X factor for the Cowboys or the Eagles in this game tomorrow night. And guess what? We're going to give you who's in the roster, who's going to be able to play as well. That's next on Cowboys Crosstalk, presented by SWBC. We've got a really nice crowd out here at the Star in Frisco. Everybody getting their game face on because tomorrow night, Thursday night football, the Cowboys at the Eagles. The Super Bowl defending champions are getting their rings. It's an arch rivalry. It's an NFC East showdown. Dak is back. But more importantly, I mentioned this earlier, the practice report came out today. Tyler Guyton, he's good to go. Trayvon Diggs, he's good to go. These guys will be needed when they take on the Eagles. But at the same time, they may not be the X factors for this game. Gentlemen, I'm Chris Arnold, joined, of course, by the 3-time Super Bowl champion, Nate Newton. I remember, I got to tell you, Timmy Newsome, Cowboys legend, and Jake Riegman. Nate, I got to tell this one story real quick, as I said, the 3-time Super Bowl champion. I remember the first year y'all got y'all's rings, because Eagles getting their rings,
right.
All right? When y'all got y'all's rings, we were on this road trip, and I was on the Cowboys chart all these years. And I asked every guy, let me try your ring on. Let me put your ring on. So I put like 10 rings on my hand. And I said, Nate, let me have your ring. Nate had the biggest ring, and I put it on my thumb. And I said, Nate, why your ring so big? And you said?
I don't remember.
He said, man, when I retire, I'm going to eat some fried potatoes. He said, I want to wear this ring all my life.
I remember that. So I told everybody, like, why your rings? Because
he had the biggest ring.
I was really wearing back then, probably about a 12.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I got about a 14 or 15. Right. Because I said, when I get out and be so big, fat and greasy, eating all out of French fries, I would tell everybody that. To the point now I got to wear it around my neck because it's too big.
So these jokers tomorrow night going to get their rings in a ceremony.
Oh, don't bring back the memories.
I know, man. I got
out of French fries.
Yeah, By the way, I'm glad you decided to put the French fries down because you look really good. Everybody said, man, Nate, you look small. You look all good.
Yeah, Deion said I look like I'm on crack. I'm like, don't do me like
Coach Fry.
Yeah.
So the game is tomorrow. I don't know when they're going to get their ring ceremony, but is that going to be a motivation thing for them, you think, Jake, or you think that's going to be just sideshow stuff? Then we'll go to the rest of the room.
Yeah, I'm curious how you would react to it. I think if it disrupts the flow of anybody's routine, we all know athletes are creatures of habit, and, if you got to stand there and it takes up more time than it would, but Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, said they're not even going to be out there for it, so he's trying to downplay it. And I think, you guys would know better than me. I think when you buckle up that chin strap, all bets are off. Just go play.
Agreed.
Timmy?
I don't think they're going to concern themselves with it at all. And so, I don't think they're going to concern themselves with it at all. It's all business, and it's behind them.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Jalen Hurt put it in his lockbox or what have you. He doesn't even wear his anymore.
Right. And so what about you, Nate? Do you think it's going to be a distraction at all, or you think it's such an arch rivalry?
That's the focus. That's the focus. It's amazing how people just enjoy beating up on the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. But I've listened to Coach Sirianni all year long by way of NFL Network. I've listened to him all. Man, he talked to Jimmy Johnson. He talked to Bill Parcells. He talked to a lot of head coaches that have won Super Bowls and went back-to-back. And he has been beating that drum. You hear Jason. Just like in baseball, we're going to show him how big the plate is, the diamond. He went back to the nuts and bolts, trying to get his players to understand that this is a new year. We got 10 to 15, 20 new guys and about 4 new starters, so we need to start this thing over. So to him, he's trying to downplay it.
Yep.
And, so wild, a lot of people forget this. They know that the Eagles are the Super Bowl defending champions. They could have been back-to-back champions. They barely lost to Kansas City the year before. And Jalen Hurts would have been the MVP. That's how well he was playing.
I tell you, like this here, it's amazing how being a bus driver can win you Super Bowls or put you back in Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. I've never had a problem with a bus driver.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because that's everybody. He's never in nobody's top 5.
No.
But who has been in the last 3 or 4 Super Bowls? It's been Jalen.
That's right.
This been a kid that got his job, took on national TV.
Alabama.
Got his job took.
Yeah.
Got deported. Got took out of there, man. Put him on a train and sent him to Oklahoma.
In front of everybody. In front of everybody.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
This kid
Shipped
never
him to
broke.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
This kid never broke.
Nope. Not at all.
Now he's a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah. So he's going to – and they even validated the tush push. He's the only one that can run that. Nobody can execute that tush push except him. I guess these other two all these other
Don't nobody
quarterbacks
else
too lanky.
squat. Nobody else
They
squat.
can't squat down like that.
Nobody else squat 600 pounds.
No,
either.
not at
Yeah,
all.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That line too.
That's the
Squat
difference.
600 pounds.
Okay, so you mentioned the offensive line for the Cowboys earlier. You think this thing's gonna be one of the trenches because
No question.
that defensive line the Eagles got them Georgia
Yeah,
boys.
No question. And they can do it without blitzing,
Yeah.
which is even more remarkable. And so Dallas's challenge is to answer that challenge. And so if they can do that, then they're going to have a chance.
That is why I needed for these guys to play together during training camp and during the preseason. I know you're going to go against second and third teamers, but still every chance you get to get a rep together to get to know a guy is what you need, man. When it comes to it's 2 or 3 positions on the field. It's offensive line. I think the wide receivers got to be together, and I think that secondary got to be together.
Right.
A lot of other places you can rally,
Uh-huh.
but you can't rally at those positions.
Yeah, because you got to know what each other doing.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It's cohesion.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So-
That's the word.
So Jake, for you, if you would say somebody's going to be the X factor in this game for the Cowboys, who might that be?
You know, you said the receivers being together. I think that's a big deal. And, you know, maybe it's too easy of one to say, hey, look at CeeDee Lamb. But you pair George Pickens now.
Uh-oh. Yes,
sir.
First
Here we
time
go.
in a
Yes,
Dallas
sir.
Cowboys uniform.
He's going to be hyped.
Now maybe this is cheating a little bit in your answer because I think with the dynamic playmaking ability of both those guys, defensive coordinators are going to have to make a choice. Now, you gear up and try and stop CD, then obviously it's Pickens' opportunity to be the X factor and vice versa. So
And
I
then
look for them to
Jake
make some
Ferguson
plays.
will fall in there too.
Right,
Yes,
right,
sir.
tight end.
Because you have that depth. You
Yeah,
talked about
yeah,
Philly's
yeah,
depth. I
yeah.
think at the skilled position, the depth is so improved.
Yes.
So for the Cowboys, Timmy, X factor.
Hey, I think that running game has got to be solid.
I'm glad you brought
Yes,
that up
it's
because
got
we
to
don't
be
know
solid.
nothing about that committee.
No. I think
It
Williams
shouldn't be a
he's
committee.
he's
It
he's
should
a
be
good
Williams.
back, but I think they're going to have to be able to get a lot of positive yards to keep that defense on the field.
So, Nate, let's stick with this running back committee real quick because you were out there in Oxnard. What does the committee look like? Because we didn't see him in preseason.
It better be him.
It better be him.
He's a banger.
Yes.
He's got the speed to break it.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if he can maintain it,
Right.
but he got the speed to break it, and he ain't
Javonte.
shy of contact. So you got to make sure that he touches that ball 10 to 15, 20 times to see how he's doing it. Because when we used to play the great Phillies team, the one that stomped me for 11 sacks, the next game, Coach said, we're going to run the ball. Coach Turner told us, Tony told us that Coach Turner said, I can deal with 3rd and 10, I can deal with, 2nd and 10, but I just don't need a negative play. Get my running back to the offensive line, and I got enough plays I've saved up over time for these bad situations.
That's right.
Are you talking about load left?
Yeah, let's stop now.
That's your
we
favorite play.
went on to win the Super Bowl that year.
Sure did.
They can't have any negative plays.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Coach Schottenheimer, you out there, I'm going to give you something. Don't neglect the short passing game to the backside of the backfield. That's another way to run the ball.
That's right.
Don't neglect the short passing game.
Do not neglect the short passing game. So who do you think is going to be the X factor?
I got this from Jesse Holly. Turp got to be the X factor.
Oh,
Interesting.
yeah.
and
Devontae
Yeah,
Turpin.
let me explain. Jesse Holly gave me this. He said, and I'm using it on a TV show tomorrow. He said, when you have an electrifying kick or punt returner of that nature,
All pro.
and the way they kick off now, he's got to get them a couple of plays to the 40 or the 50. Somewhere in there, 45. He's got to at least get 2 of those. And we've been dying for him to hit this kid, not a bomb, but across the field where he's running away from people.
Yes.
So when you run that 9 route, whether he's on the inside or outside, you run that 9 route and you let it slant across, and you take that 9 route straight down the field. That safety got to make a move.
Yep.
So now
He gotta make a choice.
So now we slow drag him across the field with somebody running behind him and let him catch that ball. And so he's got to be that positive factor, because when everything else bogged down,
Yeah.
because the defensive front that they have Even though they got their secondary is strong, their defensive front is.
Right.
So, but that can be the X factor. When things bog down, hit that little dude, man. Hit that little dude.
I love the way you think.
Little hedgehog. That's what he is, little hedgehog.
Well, we're going to give us our prediction on the final score for this game tomorrow night and a couple of other thoughts about this game, Cowboys versus the Eagles. That's coming up next right here on Cowboys Crosstalk, presented by SWBC. Got some popcorn in my throat.
Hey,
Back to SWBC Mortgage's Dallas Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Chris Arnold, along with three-time Super Bowl champion Nate Newton, Cowboys legend Timmy Newsome, Jake Reekman from 105.3 The Fan, and we're here with you the night before the big game. Cowboys Crosstalk, presented by SWBC. The game is in Philadelphia, Thursday Night Football, kicking off the season. And we've been talking about the X factor. Who might be the X factor for the Cowboys in this game? We're going to get into Philadelphia, too. I haven't told you mine. My X factor, and I really think this is going to happen now because Trayvon Diggs is going to be active. No, not Trayvon being the X factor. But he's going to be paired with Deron Bland for the first time in I don't know how long. So that means those great wide receivers that the Eagles have, they're going to have their hands full. Which means Dante Fowler will be unleashed. I say Dante Fowler, the edge rusher. The reason I say him, he's proven. This dude's coming back from Washington where he had double-digit sacks last year. People are sleeping on Dante Fowler. Now, I'm not saying he's the end-all and he's going to be the whole, but I'm telling you, I bet he gets a sack. I bet he gets a bunch of pressures. He's going to be lined up probably where Tank Lawrence is lined up. They might move him around a little bit. Just don't sleep on Dante Fowler. That's just me.
Right.
We out there.
You just saying that Saquon Barkley is going to be just taken out of the game.
There we go. It's time to talk about the Eagles. Time to talk about the Eagles. I'm thinking that Saquon, me personally thinking for them, he's going to be the X factor. In other words, if we are so busy trying to go after the quarterback or the receivers can't go nowhere, Saquon could get loose, although that's not his history against the Cowboys. They basically contained him most of the time, whether it's the Giants or the Eagles, and sometimes he gets some junk yardage in the second half. I call it junk, but, the game's already wrapped up and he gets some yards. That's just me for the Eagles on who I think's the Eagles' X factor.
Right.
Let's start with Jake.
All right. I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball because, hey.
Georgia? No?
No, yeah, that's exactly where I'm going because he has the opportunity to wreak havoc, pressure up the middle, Jalen Carter from the
that's that Georgia boy.
Interior defensive line, and sometimes that can be a cheat code because every quarterback will tell you, you got pressure coming from the edge, you step up in the pocket, but when you've got that interior pressure, there's not a lot you can do with that.
Nate, who you like?
I can't add to no more what this dude just said. That is
Carter.
it, bro. That is it. Jalen Carter.
Who's going to have to handle him? Is that Booker? Booker's going to have Carter?
Booker, yeah. Booker going to deal with him. I left Tyler Smith going to deal with him. Center going to deal with him.
Guyton probably with some snaps. Pitch count. That's the subplot of the show. Nate's pitch count. Timmy, who's the X factor for the Eagles?
Oh, it's Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have been horrendous at stopping the run, and they're going to test that defensive line, buddy.
And Clark, the new guy, who's three-time
and he's
Pro
starting.
Bowler?
I mean, they have him listed as a starter.
He's got to.
He's got to.
He's got to. Thank God Mr. Jones let us basically say, as long as it's the truth. Mozzie has not lived up.
That is true.
Mozzie has not lived up. He is, and that hurts.
Right.
I mean, like Jason Gary used to say, we put a valuable asset on him, a number one pick. He has not lived up. I gave him his chance. The first year, I do not rate players. I don't care. First round, first player pick, you deserve that right to adjust to this game of men. Second year, you had to say my problem with Mr. Maz is you got to act like you care.
Right.
So
I don't know if he cares. I don't know if he loves football.
Yeah.
I think he's a really good kid. He's a very strong guy. So that's one of the reasons why, they thought he'd be the perfect guy because the measurables.
Right.
All these coaches and scouts love the measurables. You say the measurables, they can't really tell the heart.
That's right.
That's the one thing. It's like that's why Dak Prescott slid down to the fourth round. He didn't have all those measurables. So I want to know from you, Jake.
Timmy.
No, Timmy already said Saquon.
I said Saquon.
I'm going to ask you, but I was going to go back to, because we were talking about Mozzie. I was going to talk about Kenny Clark. I was going to ask you what you thought about him since they got him from Green Bay. He's a one technique, and all you guys chime in as well. How quickly can he help this team since it's a new team he just got here this week?
Well, I think the declaration is clear. He's coming in to stop the run, to your point.
No question.
And what better – I mean, there's
That's
no
the
time
test.
like the present. Week one, you're going up against arguably the best running back and one of the best running attacks in the National Football League. And, hey, Kenny, you were brought here to stop the run. Go do it.
That's right.
I heard this from somebody say that he loves the one technique. He loves –
Yes, that's what he said.
So my thing is this right here. When you play more of a one technique, you can two-gap a lot. You can jam the center and play both A's gaps.
Right.
Where this defense here don't always ask you to do that. They put you in a gap. They say, hey, this is your gap. Control your gap to the sideline. If these guys can rally around him, he will eat up enough blocks for your linebackers to make plays.
Right.
But will your threes technique will also understand, I got this gap. I got to make two guys get me two. So your linebackers, Jackson or Jason or whatever his name, new guy. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's okay. Go ahead.
But Murray, those guys, you got the lure foul.
Yeah.
Lure foul.
Yeah.
You have to let these guys run free.
Right.
If they
you gotta
can't run
spring
free.
them. You got to spring them.
Well, I got to – hey, go ahead on. But that's my guy.
Well, Osa has been named team captain.
Yes. In fact,
And that's huge.
Let me go ahead and name these team captains for everybody that don't know. The Cowboys are doing something that they hadn't done since Jason Garrett, which is have a season-long team captains. They usually have 4. They're going to take 6 because Shotty did a survey with the players, and he came up with 6. Those 6 are Osa, and who else on defense? It's Osa.
Jack Sanborn?
No.
That's my linebacker. I had to get it right. I don't want to mispronounce a kid's name. I used to think that was funny. That ain't funny.
Yeah, on offense,
Jack
you got
Sanborn.
CD and you got Dak, and then the special teams captains are C.J. Goodwin and
Brandon
Aubrey. I'm trying to think of that second defensive captain. And by the way, they're going to have a captain each game for each game.
Right.
You know, like whoever showed out during the week,
Right.
they're going to be like the captain for that game. So he's going to add those guys like that.
Right.
But yeah, this Osa is a big part of this defense.
He really is.
Osa has to stand up this year. Osa's been a guy that'll get you 2 or 3 sacks. His game got to go to 7 or 8.
Right.
You know, that is the responsibility of a 3rd or 4th year player that's getting his money.
The defensive captain that I failed to mention, he's from Texas A&M, and his name is Donovan.
Okay,
Oh,
Donovan
okay.
Wilson.
Wilson.
He's got to show back up this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the defense was made for him last year because you don't go from being good 2 or 3 years and all of a sudden you disappear.
Right.
You know, unless
Right.
you had an injury or something changed structurally about the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Man, it's just going to be an exciting game.
It really is.
Exciting game,
So
man.
you know Ebert Flus from the first time he was here.
Yeah.
When he was defense coordinator about 10 years ago, he was here. Does his defense work with these players? Because sometimes, you know, his style was this defense made for a Dan Quinn defense, or is it fluid enough to do his style too?
They're trying to build it for him.
Okay.
That's why Clark is here.
Got it.
Like I say, they trying to make players understand.
Mm-hmm.
This thing could be ugly tomorrow, or this thing could be close. We don't know what the first game going to bring, but they are trying to bring. Remember that week where they're supposed to start the OTAs?
Right.
The coach said, "No, we're not doing that." Mm-hmm. He wanted to spend an extra time with his coaches and with the scouts to say, these are the type of guys we need. So they've been trying to work towards that. We'll find out what tomorrow brings.
Well, speaking of tomorrow, by the way, this guy knows all about gambling and stuff. He got a degree in gambling.
How are you going to do that to me?
I can't gamble.
No,
I cannot gamble.
I'm giving him credibility
Oh,
because his thesis when he graduated from college was gambling is going to be legit in sports.
Right.
And he got an A on that.
That is true. That is
Now
true.
you brought gambling to the NFL.
No. I
We
said
can see it coming.
Because I can't gamble at all. I had to take a test.
Yeah, let me
Exactly.
defend myself. I said the regulation of sports gambling.
Right. Exactly.
Get it all regulated. People are doing it. Let's
Right.
make it regulated. Let's tax it. Let's make
Right.
it even playing field.
So with that being said,
Appreciate
I think
that.
the odds makers are saying the Eagles are 8.5-point favorites.
Yeah, it's the biggest-
I need y'all's predictions and tell me what you think's going to happen.
It's the biggest point spread in the entire NFL for week number 1. 8.5. You get 3 for being at home, but they're saying 5.5 points to the Eagles. So the odds makers are seeing this line as Philadelphia very, very heavily favored. I think the Cowboys cover that, meaning they don't lose by 8.5, but I think Philly's
7.5.
just got
Who you like, Nate?
It'll be a tie game, first of the year.
A tie game? Come on, man. They're not going to do 2 overtimes.
0-0.
No.
Tie game.
Well, you know what? That's what he always says, a tie game. He just wants them to play hard and
Yeah.
nobody get hurt.
Because I don't think we can get it by 1.
Timmy, go ahead and break it up. Break up his tie.
I think Aubrey's foot is going to be the difference.
I do too.
That kid can kick.
Yes.
I'm going to say the Cowboys are going to win 30-27.
30-27, so you don't think it's a high-scoring game.
Yes.
In
Oh,
other
yes.
words,
So
both
you don't
defenses.
you think our offense gonna get like that?
Oh, yes.
It's gonna be some turnovers.
You've got 2 premier receivers. Why not?
Right.
And you've got a quarterback who, regular season, he is on fire.
And we got a Turpin special teams
That's
touchdown in
exactly
there.
right.
Yeah, see? And I'm with you. I don't think the Cowboys' defense is going to slow down Philadelphia, but I also think he was vanilla on purpose in the preseason, and there's a reason. He's got some weapons, and nobody knows what he's going to do. I had no problem with him hiding everything. I don't know what they're going to do all season long, but I've always said from the beginning, they're going to sneak up on Philadelphia while they celebrating. They fans going to be crying in their beers all the way home.
That's right.
All I got to say.
Get on them early and quiet that crowd down.
You got to remember that my grandma used vanilla in her pound cake.
It always works. Just like Cowboys Crosstalk always work every Wednesday right here at the Star with a three-time Super Bowl champ Nate Newton. I'm Chris Arnold along with Jake Riegman and Timmy Newsome. We want to thank all of y'all for being with us because guess what? The Cowboys going to go 1-0 to start this season. Everybody in? Yeah! How about them Cowboys?
That's right.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?